Welcome back, gamers. We have another video for you today, and believe it or not, my channel is 1 year old. The birthday of my channel, and my first major upload was, basically a little over a year ago. I missed the date, but nonetheless, I'm happy that we made it a whole year, which is really cool. Definitely didn't know what I was kind of expecting getting into this, but I've been having fun with it, so here we are. And anyway, the point of today's video, the very first video that I uploaded on my channel was 10 things that I think TCM needed to add to the game. They were mainly focused on quality of life based things. This was like kind of my thoughts at the time, and I'm genuinely curious to see if they implemented any of these, because I don't really remember what the 10 things were. I've not looked back at the video in probably at least 10 months, so I kind of want to just watch through and we can talk about it, see what got added and what didn't, and go from there. So yeah, let's get into it.
Welcome in, everyone. It's been a long time since I've made a YouTube video, so please forgive me if this is a little messy.
I was very soft spoken
game, and I kind of wanted to
maybe I still am in my uploads, but it feels like when I'm chatting a little more casually, it's not it's a little more, I guess, intense.
The number one thing, honestly, that I would love to see them add is being able to see what level your perk is when it's not in your current skill tree.
Yeah, that needed to come to the game, and it's still not there yet. I really hope they add this at some point. I guess we'll see. I got every perk on every family member to level 3, and I'm still working on the victims slowly but surely. There's a lot more perks there, a lot more, well, one more character, but yeah, it's a bit more of a grind for victims, but this would have been really helpful, and I guess it would still be helpful if they added it for future characters and even for victims. But like, man, it would be nice to just look at a perk just to see if I have it max level or not when it's not active, because up here obviously you can see what level your perks are, but like down here, other than core memory, or if you write it down, you don't know what it is. So I would like to still see them implement that at some point.
As you can see in the screenshot I'll put on screen, I have the big swings perk here, and I have this thing at level 3.
Yeah,
but when I don't actually have the perk unlocked, I don't know what level it's at. And also,
I feel like it would be a simple change,
get all of your perks on your favorite character to
I don't know.
3. It's kind of tricky to do that.
Isn't that cute? I was talking about just doing it on a single character.
That's my number one change.
And now honestly, we have them all done.
Second thing I'd love to see them add is better button mapping or key rebinding. I know everyone hates this comparison, but Dead by Daylight struggled with that same exact thing for the longest time for controller players. They did finally eventually add it, which was much needed.
It's still rough on it's still a little rough on DVD, and it's still definitely rough on TCM. We have the recent changes where they've made it so grabbing items versus crawling through a gap. I think they changed like the value that one would take precedence over the other. Maybe it's improved slightly. Personally, I have not noticed it a ton different. I still feel like I randomly grab health pots when I want to get tools, and maybe that's intended, but that's one. And there's a couple gaps throughout different maps where sometimes you would close a door or reach for a bone scrap pile rather than hitting the gap, and I think they've maybe improved it slightly. I would still like to see a little bit more button customization come, but I guess we'll see.
It's pretty dang good. And TCM actually does have key rebinding, but only for PC. So for us controller players, it's a struggle. I know you've been there if you've gone to disable Hitchhiker's Trap in front of the fuse box. Try and disable the trap, get locked on the fuse box, and the next thing you know, boom, you're trapped, you're dead, game over. So if we could get some better key rebinding, especially in controller, it would be much appreciated. I would also love to see them kind of rework the skill trees a bit.
Oh, here we go.
Honestly, they're slow.
Yeah, this is another one.
I think there's a lot that could really go into the skill trees, and not to tie it back to Dead by Daylight, but they also struggled with this for the longest time, and I think it was within the last year they finally sped up this.
And what's crazy about that is I think Dead by Daylight also just announced within the last couple of weeks that they're going to be even improving that blood point spending system even more to speed it up, make it faster, more efficient. TCM is like, man, it's just slow at times. Getting rid of random perks obviously helped with the amount of times you have to redo your skill tree, but I would still like to see it improve.
Like the auto redeem, so you could immediately fill up the tree. Obviously, this game's a little bit different in how that works. If they were able to implement something similar that would, obviously fit the game, I think that would go a long way. Really just, making it go quicker would be great. Obviously, there's some things you have to consider because, this game, you do have the skill points, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
I'm sure they could figure something out.
And that's probably the biggest limiter right now is just if you don't have enough skill points to like max a tree all the way through, then the game would have to account for that. And I'm sure it would take a whole system overhaul to like change things. I mean, they got rid of random perks, so that was obviously a big enough overhaul, but that was like a year ago now, so I'm itching to see this improve.
Everyone hates, you're trying to get the random perks you want. No one wants to sit there forever and ever.
I think that's my next topic I want to say.
Resetting the skill tree and then taking the slowness in to get your perks. And to bounce off number 3, in the same vein of reworking skill trees, I would love to see us get one skill tree per loadout. We have the ability to have multiple loadouts, which is
yeah, no, this was not random perks, but man, multiple skill trees, I still think that's a great idea, and I would love to see that happen. I don't know if they ever will. Some characters it doesn't matter because you get enough decent perks or different builds where you have one route and you're covered. Like Sissy, I have, I think, all 5. I mainly only use one. All 5 of mine for Sissy like built. Nancy, I think I have like 3. Hitchhiker, I have like 3 different builds that I mainly run. But still, I do think it would be nice if like a tree was tied to a loadout, because then you could have so many more playable options per game. You could really up the strategization level, and maybe they don't want that, but I think it'd be cool.
It's great, but you can't always get like different builds from the same skill tree. I think if that were changed, so I have loadout 1, that's its own skill tree. Loadout 2, that's its own skill tree. I think this is the solution that would honestly solve everyone's skill tree issue. I know people hate the random perks. I don't think it's that bad personally.
What the hell was I talking about? God. I mean, in a sense, I guess I didn't hate the random perks. I wasn't spending, hours on end trying to respec for a specific build. So I guess maybe for the people that did that, it's annoying. Personally, I was just kind of under the impression like, I'll try and get it on the first node and go from there. And, I didn't really take the game. Still don't really take the game too seriously, but that is funny to me.
The idea behind it. Obviously, you don't want to have perks on the same side of the skill tree, so that's important too. No one wants to see Grappler stacked with empowered in the current state, but it is what it is. And
old empowered.
I think if we get multiple skill trees and have one per loadout, I think that would solve everyone's problems. For number 5, this is a small thing, and I believe it's already been confirmed that they are working on this as like a major perk update. I'm all about buffing perks instead of nerfing them.
Yeah,
and I think there's quite a few that could certainly use a buff. Bring home the
rip in peace. What do I even say about it?
Change it, get rid of it. I don't know. No one uses it. I've never seen anyone use it. Do something with that.
I said get rid of it, and they did. They killed Bring Home the Bacon. No. Oh God. Moments before disaster. Yikes. Yeah, no, I do think this still holds true though. I would love to see so many perks get a buff. I'm always under the impression that you need to buff perks rather than nerf them, and yeah, I think we could certainly probably the ones I listed here.
Insulated
didn't get touched.
Didn't even know this was a perk in the game. Booby trap lamps don't stun you.
Yeah,
if
let's buff
are
that
out
one.
there using that, let me know. I want to see your build because I've never seen that one either. And then this is a fantastic perk for Cook and Johnny. I believe who are
warmed
the only
up.
two people
that
can have it. Warmed up after winning or losing a close encounter, gain 40% ability charge. And let me tell you, having that on Johnny, poof, maybe too OP. But yeah, I don't know. Do something with some of these perks because there's a lot of filler. And
that perk is so bad.
I think that could be changed. Number 6, this one has been long requested. I see it all the time on Reddit. I see it all the time on
Kill
Twitter,
the Danny.
Discord. Give us custom lobbies with less than 4 people.
Oh,
Let's
hey.
do 2 people.
Look at that. They changed that. Honestly, huge change here. I don't remember when that came. I really don't remember when that was changed, but yes, this was a big thing. That was actually really nice. You could log into the map on your own, explore. I know it had some bugs off the rip. What was it? If you were like Leatherface and you spawned in, you were stuck in the basement, I believe they eventually, or maybe that's still how that is. I don't remember. Anyway, I know there was some issues and they changed it, but yeah, this was, hey,
1v1. Let's do
shout out.
One person.
Good change.
You know, I don't care if you want to learn the map, explore, let's have that ability. Maybe that will come in the future. I would almost guarantee they have to be working on this. The amount of times I've seen it and they've commented, we'll forward this to the team. The fact that it isn't in the game already is odd. It seems like it should be an easy change to make. I don't know. I'm not a game developer, but this needs to be in the game. All right, this is my last time I'm bringing up Dead by Daylight, but I know they recently announced. Honestly, I don't even know if it's in effect because I don't play the game anymore. But map rotation system, I believe they added that. I would love to see that added to. TCM.
Yeah, no, this was. I think we're a year later. Was this video? This would have been right after Mill dropped or right before the Mill dropped. So I think this might have been actually before we had the Mill. So now that we have the Mill and we got Graveyard a couple months ago and we have more weather variants, I think that the map rotation kind of is in a better state. Obviously, we have those days where you just get the same one map or two maps like for an hour, it feels like. I know I started stream like a couple days ago, and I think I had 3 Graveyard games to start with, and it wasn't until I was playing for probably 3 hours before I finally got Gas Station. So still, it can be frustrating and annoying at times, but I think having the extra weather variants does help. So hopefully they continue to add more variants to the game and we improve on that even more.
I don't really know how you could add it at this point in time, right now where the game stands.
But yeah,
we only have 4 maps.
What Dead by Daylight has,
obviously you have a couple iterations of those maps, the way it's generated at the beginning. But
okay, so this was before Mill because we only had the 4 maps. So,
but
yeah.
Maybe as we get more maps, that would be a thing they could add. No one wants to play Family House 5 times in a row, Gas Station 6 times in a row. I know
Gas Station's fire. I take that back.
Are sick of that pretty quick, but yeah, I think this is something that maybe has some potential in the future to be added. All right, maybe a slightly controversial one here. Number 8, give us the option to adjust the chainsaw sound. I've seen a lot of people talk about this.
Yeah, this still ain't in the game yet. That would be nice. That would be nice.
I see both sides of the argument, to be honest with you. Playing Leatherface is a ton
Look at
of
Johnny
fun,
just chilling in the
after
background.
a while, that chainsaw, it just hurts. It hurts. It really does. And I know initially people said that the Nicotero Leatherface was pay to win. I think that one honestly might be louder. That's just me though. But I would love to be able to tweak the volume. I get it from the other side of things though. If you are going to be constantly revving your chainsaw, well, maybe you shouldn't hear when the battery kicks off, or maybe you shouldn't hear when the generator gets kicked. I do get that from the victim side of things, but
Yeah, that still holds true. I swear when I play Leatherface, I'm revving, I don't hear anything. And I don't know if that's just because like my hearing is bad when it comes to certain like rev times, or I know there are audio bugs on different spots on the map, so maybe I just keep getting caught in those here and there. But man, there's sometimes where like I don't hear the generator or the battery, and like my teammates are freaking out like 10 seconds later. I'm like, what's the big deal? And they're like, did you not hear the battery? I'm like, oh.
The chainsaw is just so loud. Please let us turn it down a little bit somewhere.
I do think it'd be nice to be able to tune
9,
the audio though.
Kind of another minor one as well. I would like to see just better descriptions and maybe some clarification on things. I know sometimes they do follow up with people in the forums of answering questions, but honestly, there's still so much out there that I'm not sure of, and I don't know if anyone's really sure of. Like for example, the ability trees. Do they stack? Do they not stack? Do some stack? Did some not stack? I've kind of seen it both ways, and maybe
I do think I think they're getting better with some clarification things in terms of like changing descriptions and whatnot for perks. I know with the last update we just had, they did kind of rework a handful to make things more clarified, and I think that's good. I would love to still see them do that more in different spots. It's mainly for perks is the big one. I guess ability trees, if they could define it out a little better, I think it would help cut down on some confusion. But for the most part, really, I think we're in a pretty good spot there.
I missed the resolution to that.
So they did some of that.
You know, some added clarification on that would be good. And then just a couple other things, you know, minor stuff like rubber boots. I know that perk description's just
that one might still be bugged. I actually don't remember.
Level 3 makes sense, but level 2 is a little different. I don't know if that's just like a text
obviously
thing
it's missing the 3 pool thing. I don't remember.
But minor stuff like that I think obviously could be cleaned up. Last but not least, I know this one is also going to be requested by many folks, a better party system. I know they're working on it. It does seem like it's been better.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, this was one where it's gotten a lot better. It's gotten way better. I think, what was it? PlayStation had really bad issues in the beginning, and then there was a stretch there for a while where I think like just parties in general were crapping out on PC and Xbox. Obviously we had Xbox crashing, which didn't help the party issues, and you know, I am very happy to say now we're in a better spot with that, and that those problems are at least fixed, so that's good. I still would love to see like an in-game friends list. I doubt we're ever getting that though. I think at this point that's probably not on their priority list at all. But and for the most part, the party system does work great. If you're on the same console or same platform, it's a piece of cake to invite your friends. But where you have to, you know, read off or copy a code, punch in the code, that's where it gets kind of annoying. But at least the party system is actually in a better spot now, where we aren't constantly having broken parties and you know, people aren't getting cut out and stuff. So that's good.
You know, we watch our favorite streamers. We see every 2 or 3 games they are constantly getting kicked out, have to reparty, have to restart the game to reparty. I know it happens to Slash and Cast like every 3 games. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and they were on PlayStation, I believe.
It's pretty rare
which
that
is where it was
one of us
super
gets
bad.
kicked, but maybe there's a
you guys see that sunny slide right
maybe
through
it's
them?
a
Holy
platform
moly,
thing, who knows?
that was clean.
But you know, a little bit of a change there to, you know, make things better. I think that could go a long way. And there you have it. Hopefully you agreed or disagreed with some of this. I would love to know.
That's pretty much it. I don't
these,
remember what else I talked about at the end.
Quality of life
We yapped for a
changes
bit.
that you personally would like to see. I have more that I didn't choose to include in the video.
Oh yeah, I did make I made a second follow-up video like pretty quickly after this one, so maybe we'll see how this video does. Maybe I'll consider
a response to this. Maybe I'll make a part 2 with some of
reviewing my part 2.
That were maybe a little more controversial, but I decided to leave them out of this and just keep with some of the bigger things.
These were mainly quality of life things. I think in the second video I talked a little bit more of like
comments. If you want to see more
changes
like this, please
to the game,
liking and subscribing,
bigger changes,
or following me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Skeletoasty.
That's so funny.
I do stream there as well. That's
so.
That everyone, have a good rest of your day or night. Take care.
Look at that! What a wholesome outro. It's funny. So yeah, there you have it. I don't know. I think they did okay. There was still like a handful of things that, you know, aren't in the game that should be, and I think everyone would want to be added, but they did all right with a couple things. So that's, you know, I think that's promising at the very least to see we did improve on some things a year later. Obviously the game is, you know, in a similar state, but in a different state. I do think we need another major like health update, really, where we take a look at the meta, change things, mix it up, you know, get people trying different things and playing different ways to encourage, you know, a fresh start. I think that would be good. And, you know, hopefully we're coming up on some content pass 2 information, and we will you know, just, I guess, keep the game alive. That's all we can hope for at this point. So anyway, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you guys being here and supporting me over the last year. It's still crazy to think about. And yeah, I guess we'll see how this video does. Maybe I'll react to my second video that I did of 10 things here in a couple weeks, where you know, maybe we'll look at the 1 year anniversary from that one and see how things have changed. And I will say I actually have a list of probably 15 things of other things I want to see TCM added, or to see TCM add, and I have not made that video yet. We'll see. Maybe I'll sneak that out, coming out soon too, since we're kind of at that 1 year anniversary of some QOL things. So that's it. Thank y'all for watching today. Appreciate you being here. Have a good rest of your day or night, and I will see you guys in the next one.